والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the universe, the Master of the Day of Judgment. I bear witness and testimony to the oneness of Allah, to His magnificence, His omnipotence, His might, His glory, to His being the creator and sustainer of all things, the giver of life, the guider of hearts, the Master of the Day of Judgment. I bear witness to the fact that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His servant and final messenger. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him and upon all those who choose to tread in his path until the last day. Amongst the many recommendations that the Prophet ﷺ has given to us in regards to how it is that we should exist in this world, comes a narration within the prophetic tradition that many of us are likely familiar with. That be in this world as if you are a stranger or a traveler. And the understanding that the Prophet is echoing in his counsel and admonition to us is one that the Quran echoes again and again in its pages, that it's not just that this world is about action rooted in Islam, or that Islam itself is supposed to rather be a mechanism for action and movement, but it's also meant to create for us a prism of orientation. How it is that we simply exist in how it is that we perceive and we simply are in this world. When you wake up every morning, you can affirm whatever it is that you affirm. The language that we speak into the world from the tongues that Allah has gifted us with can become a mechanism through which we feel uplifted or we feel brought down. We can speak in a negative frame or a positive frame. There's hadith that we have talked about numerous times in these gatherings where the limbs, they beseech the tongue every morning. If you are good, if you are upright, we will be good. If you are not, we will not be. And if we understand these things in tandem, sometimes when you wake up, you have to remind yourself, before anything else, that I'm a traveler. And I make that affirmation as an identity variable, regardless of what part of this world that I was born into, or who my parents are, and how many people are Muslim in my family or not, how much wealth we have, what degree I have, what positions I hold, what credentials and networks I've obtained. I wake up and I define with clear definition that the Prophet told me to be in this world in this way, and I'm going to be in this world in this way. I am a traveler. The orientation that this builds itself upon now is one that our religion is not at odds with, but the world that we live in socially in its norms has us in conflict with quite often. Because that transient nature is rooted now not just in a journey that is about getting from point A to point B the way some of us might traverse. But the orientation that stems from hadith like this and ayat of the Quran is about leaving from spaces of impermanence to places of permanence. Getting ourselves from a place of what is temporary to something that is forever. May Allah make us people of Jannah. Surah Ar-Rahman is a chapter of the Quran that you ask a lot of Muslims, they'll say, I love Surah Ar-Rahman. And in the first however many verses, Allah talks to us about so many different things in creation, the trees and fruits and the sky and the sun. And then he says, "Uluman alayha fan," that everything that's upon it, meaning the earth, will perish. It's not meant to be something nihilistic, but something that is just definitive. That in Surah An-Nahl, Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, "Ma indakum yanfad," that what is with you, it will fade away. "Wa ma indallahi baq," and what is with Allah, that remains. It's not just a moral imperative that we're being called to, but it's a statement of ontology. It's telling us about the nature of this world, that it is one that is not forever. And we can buy into it, or we cannot. Do we have everybody move up again, please? If there's any carpet in front of you. This is an important thing to understand, because modernity offers to us a lot of skewed perspective. And one of the things that it makes us believe is that the things that we chase after actually have permanency to it, when in reality they're the most impermanent of things. And what we want to be able to have is an orientation that has us strive towards things that actually have permanency to them. With a sense of what it is that I utilize my time in this world towards the acquisition and accumulation of things that can have the potential of forever. Yanfad, in this verse of Surah An-Nahl, where Allah Azza wa Jal says, "Ma indakum yanfad," the idea is not that it's instantaneous. Something fades away. "Uluman alayha fan." It's not that it was and then it wasn't all of a sudden. The way that we might think about things like maut and death. May Allah make the best of our deeds the last of our deeds. Let not any one of us leave this world other than in a state that's pleasing to Him. And may He truly make us those who actually want that for ourselves. Yanfad, nafada, it's denoting a gradual progression. The way if you use a pen and the ink just starts to run out from the day you start using it. The way when you light the candle and then the wax just starts to drip. The way that the sand on a beach line will just reform and float away and come back. Yanfad means it's already started. It's already happened. The progression of it fading away. What you have with you, it already started from day one, diminishing. But what with is Allah, that's what remains. When you think about it in terms of just decisions and choices and actions, and you think about what is temporary, it's not being presented in a way that is something that has different perspective. It's just about the embrace of what is actually real. The clothes that I wear, they're not going anywhere. The job titles I have, that's not going anywhere too. A house that I might purchase, it's gonna not go forever. What's going to last? A moment of forgiveness, letting go of toxic anger that you have in your heart for the sake of Allah, feeding a thirsty person, providing food to someone who doesn't have it, greeting someone with a smile on your face, the rak'ahs that you pray when nobody else is watching, even when those who are watching. What if what I'm doing is rooted in the box that is going to fade away? And what of it that I'm doing is put into the box that will remain? And if I was to start to articulate for myself the pursuit of this in the prism of this hadith, that be in this world as if you are a stranger or a traveler. And within the context of these verses, everything upon this earth is going to fade away. That whatever is with you is going to fade. And whatever is with Allah is going to remain. What are you doing? What am I doing that has that capacity in the deeds that I have exerted, the choices that I have made, that have this ingredient essentially that it will last with me forever? Why am I chasing after the other stuff so much? It's not nihilistic or fatalistic. It's just about creating orientation and perspective. It's not to get yourself to a place where I throw my back against a wall in defense of nobody's even accusing me of anything. The book in and of itself was sent to be something that guides. You can only be guided if you're willing to follow in pursuit of what the guide is taking you towards. The idea is not to just know it exists. Who cares if I'm asking for Sirat al-Mustaqim and I'm aware that it's over there? I gotta actually want to walk that path. The acknowledgement of its existence does not suffice. It's like knowing I'm thirsty and there's water there, but I'm just not going to drink it. What sense does it make? But you got to flip what the socialization brings us to and believe that you don't have to believe it for it to be true. But if we actually buy into it, it's going to reframe in the pursuit of inward balance and contentment things that are not hard to actually harness. We just believe the things that actually have impermanence to them are not as worth the things that we are chasing after in this world. A spiritual axiom in our tradition is that everything fundamentally just ends up being borrowed. Nothing is something that you will retain
with that sense of forever to it in what it is that many people have us believe. The wealth, the means, the provision, in and of itself is something that is not ours to begin with. Allah has blessed me with 2 children. Some of you have been blessed with children. Some of you want children for yourself. May Allah bless you with children that are actually blessings. My kids are blessings. But in thinking about how we are in a place where everything that we have been gifted and given, even in and of itself, has these variables to it. There are things that are going to remain in the world. And one day, one of us is going to leave before the other. What are we going to take with us when we're actually going? And the things that I've been brought up with that tell me this is what this is all about. This is what it is that I want to really be pursuant of. If I wake up and I affirm that I'm a traveler, I can affirm for myself within it, what is it that I'm actually carrying forth with me? And if I can understand the recognitions of time in this reality, and not see these as abstract concepts, but things that I'm living every single day of my life. There's certain things, man, that you are holding and giving permanency to, that you gotta start to let go of. Somebody hurt you, they should not have hurt you. May Allah grant you and all of us healing. But you're still letting them have control over you because you're giving permanency to what it was that they did, as if it's something that also is not going to just fade away. You get to a place where the pursuit of things, that we have a technology that enables us to believe all of this is something that is going to make me feel whole. And a legacy that I leave behind is actually rooted in what? Don't buy into what it is that the dunya is seeking to offer to you. And the greedy forms of capitalism that surround us, that get coupled with anti-blackness, supremacist ideologies of whiteness, modern day shirks, that our Prophet ﷺ says that what he feared for his ummah was riya'ah, like a minor shirk, showing off. But just think about what is showing off actually really rooted in. I'm trying to create an image of myself that lasts with you, that has a permanency to it, that is not what my existence is supposed to be about. Relationships change, friendships change, moods change, things change. You want to be stuck in the dunya, then the dunya is going to be where you're stuck. You want to be a person of the akhirah, then you got to start understanding the nature of these things. Everything has inherent characteristics to it. There's certain things that we fundamentally cannot shift. And certain things are just what it is that they are. Birds, they fly. Fish, they swim. These are realities. Fish are not flying. There are some flying fish. Sorry, I've slept very little the last week. But you know what I'm saying. The way that we have nature that the Quran tells us about. We are hasty. We are people who want immediacy in gratification. There's a difficulty in working and waiting for something to perhaps come for a tomorrow, or a week from now, or a month from now. I just need it now. Things have innate characteristics to their nature. And the nature of this world is that everything is going to fade away. And the recognition within this, not again as a statement of just moral admonition. وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ. Everything that is with Allah remains. This is the nature of things.
Reflection and contemplation rooted in taqwa is very different from rumination that a lot of us engage in and day out, if we're stopping and taking a pause to breathe at all. The traveler needs times to replenish their provision. You move forward in a way that understands that this is not where I'm supposed to be forever. I'm not caught up in things that just don't fundamentally make any sense. A few days ago, I got into New York City from Mexico. And somebody called me and said, "Can you come to Lebanon today?" And I said, "Why?" And they said, "There's an opportunity for us that through the government of Cyprus, which has good working relations with the government of Israel, that they have been given the green light to send 2 shipments of food packages to people through the northern part of Gaza." And I looked at my wife and I said, "Are you okay if I do this?" She said, "How can you not do it?" So I was in my apartment for 4 hours, packed whatever it was that I could, got onto a flight from New York City to Istanbul, had a 7-hour layover because they were worried if I missed an earlier flight, I just wouldn't be able to get there. Got on another plane to Beirut, landed at about 9 o'clock in the morning, stayed there for however many hours, and caught another flight back that night at 10 p.m., went back to Istanbul, had another 7-hour layover, and then flew from Turkey back to New York. There's a lot of different reasons as to why I could tell you I would do that again and again and again. When I sat there with people in Lebanon who were filled this warehouse, packing stuff, and Lebanon is not in a good state also in a lot of different ways. May Allah grant them ease. I said to the people who are on this line packing these boxes and the food distributors who are bringing the goods, "How are you feeling about all of this?" They said, "It's Gaza. How can we not do for them what it is that we need to do? That we know that Allah is watching. And we're just going to have to determine if we really believe that our actions are being looked at and we will be an account for them when we stand in front of Allah." Not meaning that what's going on with them over there and why is it happening, but what did I still do when I had the ability to do it? And did I choose to simply do something otherwise? مَا عِنْدَكُمْ يَنْفَدْ, that what is with you fades away. وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ, and what is with Allah, it remains. I was just there for half a day, man. Take some pictures, pack a couple of boxes, just so people could say, this is a real thing. These guys were just standing there on their feet for hours and hours and hours, giving up everything they could with a hope that was so real that this is something that we are putting our love into and strong intentions and noble niyyah. May Allah accept it from them. What are you doing that is going to just fade away? And what are you doing that has the potential of lasting forever? Who do you remember your teacher to be in moments of difficulty, and sometimes when it's even harder, in moments of joy? Whose guidance are you following forward on when you are deciding the decisions you decide upon? And this reality of permanency versus impermanency is not an academic conversation. It's not something that is about anything other than a frame of how we experience every part of this religion.
Because the bar to entry was never up here, it was always down here. But when you are thinking about what you do and what you don't do, I have to be able to think about in that moment that my God did not give me a platform to be self-serving. And I'm going to have to stand in front of him and say, did I really buy into this thing or not? And if I believe in something that is bigger than just this world, and the recognition that this is something that has impermanency to it, and it's just a means to that which is permanent, then that is what it is that's going to have to inform decisions and choices. You don't have to be in a place where it's much bigger than anything other than that. So the wudu that you make, even just that simple spiritual act of purification, that so many of us have got down to such a set of rote mechanics, you can do wudu in your sleep. How do you do it? With an understanding of this idea of what it is that fades away and what it is that lasts forever. Is the way that I'm doing it actually indicative that this is something that I can take with me? How do I understand it in the prism of the way I speak to people, I interact with people, the decisions and choices that I make? You make decisions through your stomach and your sexual organs. Are those things that are going to be here, or are they going to be with you there? The beautiful part of just putting khair into the world, man, is that you might forget about something that you did, or undermine it and think it wasn't a big deal. Allah does not forget any of it. And the verse, when it continues in Surah An-Nahl, it gives us an indication that the jaza that is given to us from Allah, the reward, is not coming from a quantifiable, measured metric of assessment of how much stuff that we did, but the reward is going to be rooted in just the best of any actions that we put into it. Our God is looking to catch us in a moment of mercy. But nobody's going to benefit from the good that you don't do. You got to stop living in this world as if you were made to just live in this world. But you got to wake up tomorrow and every day after and say loud and proud to yourself, I'm a traveler, I'm a traveler, I'm a traveler. I do not care what people think about me. My Islam is my cloak of dignity. It does not matter what it is that people will say. If my child wants to marry someone from a different race or culture and they are a good person, then that's good enough. What was going to remain versus what is it that I will take with me? Think about it in this prism. The nature of this existence. And how much time is just being put into stuff that's going to disappear. Why would you want to do that? Let today be the first of many days that you start to inventory at the end of the day. And think about it in this box of what is it that is actually going to be with the one who is everlasting. And what is it that is going to simply remain as being a part of things that were never meant to exist forever. The idea is not to just recognize the blessing, but to recognize the giver of the blessing in a mode where that gratitude and appreciation creates contentment within me. And there are certain things that have permanency to them if you let your heart be attached to it. The Prophet ﷺ, he loves Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha so much. Her passing away in a worldly state creates for him difficulty. But even after she is gone, he is still providing gifts and support to her friends, her family. When people become uncomfortable with the love he has, or challenges her place in his life in relation to their place in his life. She stood with me when nobody else stood with me. She believed in me when nobody else believed in me. That's a love that has permanency to it. Do you think the Prophet and Khadija are not going to be together in Jannah? Is the nature of your love and the permanency of that love towards things that possibly have any room of getting into Jannah? You don't have to explicitly say you love racism to be racist. You don't have to explicitly say that you love money and materialistic things in order for that to be true. You just gotta look at the way that it is that you are conducting and carrying forward. And the beauty of the pursuit of those things that have permanency is that they'll give you an energy unlike anything else. The Prophet called his love of Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha rizq for him, sustenance. It gave him energy to walk on this world. I've never woken up in the morning, man, and heard anybody say to me that my love of dunya is what's giving me energy to take on the difficulty and challenges of the world. If anything, what people are saying is that all this stuff that I have, it still doesn't make it less miserable seeing devastation and hardship. And then you can go to places where the people are experiencing it, and they're in realities that are heavy, but they still have an inner self that is strong. And there's nobody that will ever be able to doubt the beauty of the Palestinian people. And that is not a statement of inspiration, it is a statement of fact. Because they're living in a way where they believe that the pursuit of what is permanent is more important than what it is that is temporary. And we just have to think about it for ourselves, not just from the level of rhetoric, but from the level of actions, the level of orientation, the level of a worldview. كل من عليها فان. It's not meant to be a morbid reality, but everything upon this earth is going to fade away. ما عندكم ينفد, that what is with you will fade. وما عند الله باق, and what is with Allah, that will remain. Send some stuff today to be with Allah. Do some things today that are purely with the recognition that these are things that potentially will last with me forever. Allow for it to be something that you affirm in this prism of prophetic counsel. كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب وعابر السبيل. Be in this world as if you are a stranger or a traveler. I'm not going to define and identify myself purely by worldly categories any longer. I'm going to wake up every morning and say, I'm simply just embracing the transient nature of my existence in this world. I am a traveler, I am a traveler, I am a traveler, and I'm not going to be done with any of this until I get to a place that is my ultimate destination. Ya Allah, make me from the people of your Jannah. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. People have asked me, how is it that this aid is getting into Gaza? And so, the confirmation of this is coming through governmental apparatus, These are things that I was asked after speaking about in social media forums publicly to make sure that it's not something that gets presented in terms of our recordings beyond this conversation. That there's going to be 2 shipments that are going through the maritime corridor that is going to leave towards the end of this month, and then another early next month, and both will be delivered in the month of August, inshallah. And that the confirmation that's coming is through various relief agencies working hand in hand with the government of Cyprus that has received confirmation in this regard because of their pre-existing relationship with the government of Israel. 40,000 food packages that will feed 200,000 people, inshallah. And each of these food boxes has about 45 pounds worth of food in it. As we get updates and things are delivered, I will share those with you all. And where we can, inshallah, continue to see support being offered to our sisters and brothers. When the opportunity comes, we want to just take advantage of it, even if it's just something that's a one-off opportunity. The broader conversations that you're going to be privy to of other mechanisms that are not being offered opportunity in the same way, I can't speak to those realities. My frame of expertise is not in a prism of geopolitical understandings of various countries and agencies and how they relate to these things. I just know what it is that I have been told, and I know who it is that I've been told by it. And I've also been told by people who don't like the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing, that they are bothered and have threatened to cancel all of it. They gave me more of an indication that it's actually happening, because you can't cancel something that wasn't going to happen in the first place. You don't want to think just about why things happen, but you want to think about why Allah in His wisdom chose for us to exist in the world at this time when these things are happening. And I can't tell you how to live your lives, but I can tell you we get closer to what we should be doing by knowing what it is that we shouldn't be doing. It's not the time to be agents of ugliness in the world. Don't hurt people. Don't mock people. Don't be terrible to people. Don't validate the pain you cause to people. Be a source of light. Be a source of luminosity. Tell the people in your lives that you love them. Tell the people that you care about that you have care for them. Express gratitude and appreciation to those who it is that have done for you. Seek forgiveness from those that it is that you have wronged. And for your sake, because it is your right, not your responsibility, forgive those who it is that have wronged you. That you walk in this world as a traveler with not a lot of heavy baggage, man. And you just move forward in a way where you are part of the healing in this world. May Allah make each one of us the reason people have hope in this world, and never the reason that people might dread it. And sometimes you gotta do things that are just different from other people. I was in Lebanon for 12 hours. Every single person who stamped my passport looked at me like I was the shadiest human being in the world. Why are you here only for this much time? Why were you there only for this much time? Why is it this is something that you were doing? They're not my teacher. What they believe to be normal is not what it is that I'm going to adapt to in terms of normalcy. I have a prophet who got up and kept going for 23 years, man, without stopping, so that we could have Islam today. All you gotta do and I gotta do is let go of some of what the shackles of this dunya have confined us to believe that this is where permanency is. In reality, it's the most impermanent of things. You experience it every single day. If you want to be only of this world, then know that it's going to fade away. But if you want to have something that is everlasting, then know that that is only with Allah. And the best part of being in pursuit of the latter rather than the former, it's going to always fill you with an energy that you can never even imagine was something that you can experience. Before we make dua, there's a couple of quick things as people have been asking. Inshallah, in the first week of September, we're going to be starting Jummah prayers in our new space. Make dua that Allah facilitates this for us. If you haven't been to it or seen it, we've started weekly halakas there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. We love for people to come and participate. We have a long way to go in terms of the renovation, the construction. It's a process. We'll keep people updated. I'm going to be doing Jummah here between now and August 15th. That'll be the last Jummah khutbah I do here, which I'm sure there's some of you who are grateful that you won't have to hear my long-winded talks here. But on August 15th, we're also looking to come together as a community to celebrate everything that it is that we've built here, as well as celebrate what it is that we're endeavoring to build. And so there's a gathering that's taking place that many people have already registered for. The spaces don't have an infinite capacity, so we'll be limited in how many can come. I think already 400 people have gotten tickets. If you can't afford a ticket, that should not be a reason to discourage you. Just let us know, and we will make sure, like many others who have asked, that you will have a space and seat as well. I would love for all of us to be there together as we set forth on moving forward in the development of this community. In 5 days, we have raised $1.1 million to provide food to our sisters and brothers from Gaza. And I'm so proud of this community. And every time it gets up to help people in their time of need, that's what we're going to get together to celebrate and to affirm so that we can continue to do that much more for others. Some of our volunteers will be standing outside with laptops. You can use a QR code. But it'd be great if all of us can spend that night in the midst of a lot of things that are going on to replenish and rejuvenate so that, inshallah, what lies ahead will continue to build together in the ways that we've been doing for so long. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وفي الآخرين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين. We begin this supplication in your name, Ya Allah, and beseech you to send your choicest salutations upon your most beloved, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. We ask that you shower your infinite mercy upon this gathering, granting each and every one who is present here and our loved ones only the best in this world and the best in the next. We ask, Ya Allah, that if all of us are meant to be together only at this time, at this place, whether we are young or old, male or female, regardless of our race, our ethnicity, our social class, our country of origin, our cultural heritage, whether we are Muslim or come from a different walk of life, Ya Rabbi, if our individual hearts are meant to be in the presence of all other hearts that are gathered here, only at this time, at this place, then gather us all together again in the best of places in the world beyond this one. Increase us, Ya Allah, in all that is good. Increase us in courage, compassion, and confidence. Protect us from affliction, anxiety, and anguish. Remove from our hearts any feelings of bitterness, jealousy, animosity, or envy towards any of your creation. Grant us hearts that are filled with understanding and hope. Hearts that are drawn towards things of actual goodness and beauty. Hearts that find themselves deep in your remembrance. For indeed in your remembrance do hearts find rest. Make us, Ya Allah, from amongst those who live in this world as travelers would. Help us to move forward with an understanding that our provision comes from you, Ya Allah, so that we might not ever chase after something to obtain it that is displeasing to you. Make us those who, as we move through this world and
journey towards our ultimate destination, leave behind in our footsteps actions and choices that are filled with benefit for us and those that are around us. Make us people, Ya Allah, that the world remembers because of our kindness and our honesty. Make us people, Ya Allah, that those who we spent our time with in this world, they long to be with us because of the benefit that they achieved from being in our presence. Make us those, Ya Allah, who love ourselves in such a healthy way that we will always choose to surround ourselves with hearts that are soft, gentle, and tender, so that our hearts too might remain in a state that is soft, gentle, and tender for our benefit. Let us walk through this world in existence, Ya Rabbi, making decisions through our hearts and never at their expenses. Forgive us for those moments, Ya Rab, when we forget that we are simply pilgrims in this world, journeying towards a greater destination. Make us, Ya Allah, from the people of your Jannah. For all those, Ya Rab, who are facing any type of difficulty or duress in this world, we ask that you bring them ease and relief. Whatever the source of stress, anxiety, or hardship might be, let no one feel alone, Ya Rab, and use us as a means to bring them comfort in their time of agony. Help us, Ya Allah, to no longer be afraid to share all of the good gifts that you have bestowed upon us. But make us those who truly love ourselves in the best of ways, so we can go and share what it is that we have to offer with the world that is around us, that is sorely longing for Muslims to actually start practicing their Islam. Make us those who are not just Muslim in this room, Ya Allah, but we are Muslim when we leave from this room. Muslim in our character, Muslim in our ethic, Muslim in our conduct. And enable us, Ya Rabb, to stand in front of you with whatever hope that we might have by your mercy, that we can say we tried our best to fulfill the purpose for which it was that you had created us. Make things easy for our sisters and brothers in Palestine, Ya Allah. Through this food that will reach them, let them know that this community loves them and is behind them and praying for them and their loved ones every day and every night. Let it not be something that simply offers nourishment to their stomachs, but is something that fills their heart with a recognition that even if the rest of the world is refusing to do what they can, we're going to still try to do whatever it is that we can. Give us, Ya Allah, more strength, more power, more privilege, so that we can go out and do for others what those who have power and privilege are failing to do right now. Protect us always from hearts that are not humble, tongues that are not wise, and eyes that have forgotten how to cry. Forgive us for our shortcomings and guide and bless us all. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وقيم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
Excuse me.
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Strain your lines shoulder to shoulder, inshallah. Fill the gaps. The formation of your sufuf is part of your salah. Keep in mind you're standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so pray that this is your last prayer, inshallah. Take a moment to just line up the back of your heels and not the front of your toes. Everyone's foot is not the same size, so if you line up the front of your toes, the rows are going to be zigzag and crooked. The we take a quick moment to just look down, line up the back of our heels, make the row straight, inshallah. There's also a chance that the person praying behind you may end up prostrated on your back just because of the capacity of the room. This is something that's permissible given the space constraints, so just be aware of that. Allah accept them. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
There's going to be lunch for the community after demonstrating your similar the prayers, so please do stick around for that. Again, as a reminder, everyone is organizing on August 15th. Prayer welcome celebration for the community here, getting together. I've worked here for 20 years. I'm appreciative of the dinner that we're putting on together. As I leave my role here and to newly establish Islamic in the city. I'd love for that to be something experience together. So please do stop at the table outside to get tickets if you haven't already.
And then you just bring the card down.
Scan the QR code.
But keep the QR code up. Yeah, hide the laptop somewhere around here.
Be generous as well. We appreciate it. If you'd like to donate to our food campaign in Gaza, you can do that at launchgood.com/Gaza-aid-delivery. It's going to be up for some time, inshallah. But please do keep our sisters and brothers in Palestine in the door. We love some
Should we be moving this out of the way a little bit? I don't want to get knocked
Somebody's
over.
going to take their shahada once people are done praying their sunnahs and they have 5 minutes. We'll do that, inshallah. Before lunch is over.
Okay.
And then he was trying to hand it back to you.